Okay, hello. This is Gerald Baldock, the creator of Kids for Chemistry. We're very excited because we just released Kids for Chemistry, the game, on the internet. And I wanted to give you a brief introduction to how to set up the game. All right, so let's take a look at the board. Okay. All right, so this is the table of contents for Kids for Chemistry. And I left a link on the Facebook page, Kids for Chemistry, the group Facebook page. So, but here is the link, all right, so that you'll have it right at your hands, all right. So if you type this in, it's a little bit lengthy, but this is how you get to this table of contents, all right. So what we want to do is we want to bring up 3 more screens. And then we're going to bring up the dice, we're going to bring up the random number generator, and we're going to bring up the wheel of chemistry. All right. But what you're going to do here, we're going to bring up the main board. We just click on this button. All right. And that will bring up the board. All right, great. Things might be a little bit slow because I have StreamYard running, and that seems to slow things down. But this is the main board, and I'll explain a little bit later how to use the board. But the next thing we want to do is we want to bring up the cards. So we want to bring up the Chemistry Advanced cards. We just click on this button right here, and as you can see, that brings up another tab. Okay, and like I said, it's running a little bit slow because I have StreamYard running also. Okay, all right, we want to go back to the main board, and we want to click on the fundamental cards now to bring that tab up. Okay. All right, and so now if you notice, we have 4 tabs at the top. Okay, and what we want to do now is, if you notice all this empty space over here, that's there for a reason, because we're going to add the dice, we're going to add the random number generator, and we're going to add the wheel of chemistry to this. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on this little shrink box, or the restore down, all right, and that makes it smaller. So we have all this free space now, all right. And so what I want to do is I want to make this the right length. If you notice, if I put the cursor on the edge of the screen, I can make it bigger or smaller. I can adjust it. But the point is that you want to make it about this big, so it takes up this much space of your display. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the dice, and we're going to put that in this area over here. So all we do is we actually just click on the dice in the menu. That brings up the dice that we're going to use to play the game. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this tab, and I'm going to use my the left button on my mouse. I'm going to hold that down, and then I can drag this into its own separate section. All right. And then what I'm going to do is, if I put this cursor right on the edge of this, and again, all right, what I'm going to do is use my left mouse button, and I'm going to reduce this down. All right. And now what I'm going to do is it now fits into this area right here. All right. And I can adjust it more. All right. So that just that much is showing. And now I have the dice set. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the random number generator. So I'm going to click on dice again. I click on dice. And if you notice, if I click on the random number generator now, that will remove the dice and replace it with a random number generator. All right. And this is pretty cool because right now I have the range set from 1 to 100. But if I need to reset the range, I can put 100 right here and 200 right there, and that'll set the range. But what I'm going to do right now is, again, I'm going to click on the tab, use the left mouse button, all right, and I'm going to drag the tab, and that separates it into its own separate screen. Then what I'm going to do is place the cursor here. All right, click the left mouse button, and I'm going to be able to shrink that also. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this right here also, and I'm going to shrink it down a little bit more. All right, and now I'm going to place this right here. All right, and I need to leave that roll dice available also. But I stack this on top of the dice. Now what I want to do is I'm going to open up the wheel of chemistry. So I click on dice again. All right, and that brings up dice, but now I'm going to click on the roulette wheel. All right, and when I do that, all right, the wheel of chemistry pops up. All right, now just to let you know, I had to put these values in here, the box, because when the first time you pull up the roulette, all right, all of this is not in there. All these atoms with their money amounts, and notice the amount ranges from $500, and I got a minus $1,000, and you know, up to $2,000. Basically, you need to type this in just like this in the box when this menu first pulls up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this and separate it also. So again, I place my cursor on the tab, I click down on the left mouse button, and I drag it, and that puts it into its own section. And now I'm able to shrink this. I'm going to shrink this pretty small, and when I get to a certain point, it really shrinks nice, and so that you just see. All right, then I'm going to adjust it so that that is like that, and I place that right there. So now if you notice, all right, I can have access to any one of these screens, all right, any one of these by just clicking it. So I stack them on top of each other, but I make it so that the screen is exposed so that I can click on it. And whichever one I want to use, I just click on it. Okay, so now, all right, so now this is how we have it set up. Now we're ready to play. All right, so that was the setup. So what I do is I go to the main board, all right, and just a quick summary on how to play the game. I'm going to roll my dice. Okay, I clicked on number, so I rolled a 5. So what I do is I go 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this is a special case. So I would collect $1,000 and go to the buzzer and see if I can answer some questions, you know, from there. But right now, I don't want to talk about that right now. What I want to show you, let's roll again. All right, and I got a 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's roll the dice again. That's not what I want to show you just yet. And I got a 5 again. Okay, let's do it again. Come on now. Who would have thought? I need the, and now so I got a 3. All right, but let's just jump. Let's say we landed on this spot right here. I rolled the dice because what I want to show you is that if you click on that, what happens is then this dice, this atom, we added this atom down here, and it's much bigger so you can see it, and now you have to identify what this atom is. And the way you do that is you use the periodic table, the patented periodic table, with the number of s orbitals, all right, and the number of electrons in the outermost orbital. So the way you do this is you count the s orbitals, which are the red circles, and you see that there are 3 of them. So that means that this is going to be in the 3rd row. And then you look at the outermost orbital, which is the p orbitals. All right, and by the way, all of this you will learn as you take the lessons, okay, what a p orbital and what an s orbital is. But there are 3 electrons, all right? So that would put us right here. There's a little icon there with 3 electrons, so that means it's in this column, all right? So if you're in the 3rd row and in this column, then it must be phosphorus, number 15, and you can check that by looking, number 15 is phosphorus. If you answer the question, if you identify the atom, then you get a chance to pick a card. But if you can't identify the atom, then all you have to do is click on this atom, and what it does is it shows you what the answer is. It shows you that it's the third row and that it's this column and that is phosphorus, okay? So, but if you identify the atom, then you're able to go to the fundamental cards or the advanced cards. And you click on that and you notice you have 100 cards, all right, that you can choose from. What you do is you go to your random number generator now, okay, and you click on generate a number, and that's 96, all right? So I would click on 96. Now keep in mind, all right, if you're just starting out learning chemistry, you're probably not going to know the answer to this, but you click on it and it brings up the card, all right? And it says, now you have to answer the question. And if you answer this correctly, then you will win money. And right now I have it set at $500 for each question, okay? But this is the first atom on the periodic table that has a p orbital. What is the name of this atom, all right? And you have to be able to tell you what it is. Right now I know that this is boron, but if you did not know that, you could just click on it and it would tell you that it's boron. If you're able to answer that question, then you know that you won some money, okay? So that's the random number generator. All right, so there are cards. All right, so let's go back. All right, in the cards, there are special cards called the Wheel of Chemistry. All right, and let's see if I can remember what number that was, okay? All right, but we have the Wheel of Chemistry, and I believe that was card number 16. Okay, so if you were lucky enough to pick the Wheel of Chemistry, all right, then that means you get a chance to pick this. You click on this, okay, and whatever you land on, so let's see here, so you landed on sodium. All right, so you got to have that playing, and you won $500 in addition to the $500 you get for the card. All right, but you could win up to $2,000. Let's roll it again. Okay, again, hydrogen, $500. Okay, the point is that you can win money, but you can also lose money. Okay, so this is a brief introduction to how you play the game, but I mainly want to show you how to set up the boards for this. Okay, it's very easy to do. You use Google Chrome and go into tabs, and you're able to move the tabs around. All right, but we will have more lessons on how to play the game and also how to set it up. All right, so thank you for enjoying these lessons and enjoying the Kids for Chemistry. We have so much more to do and so much more is coming. All right, bye.